Yeah, it's heavy. Hey yo, just touched down. Landed on my feet, I'm touching plush ground. Now we in the kitchen plotting plans and passing bricks round. Violence on the news is dangerous, Buffalo's a tough town. Don't get it confused, every day you could get bucked down. That's only in the hood though, the other side be untouched. Racism in 2022, that shit is fucked up.
Good evening, Fredonia. You're listening to the local lowdown on WCVF 88.9 The Voice and WDVL 89.5 The Inferno. I'm your co-host and promotions lead, Aaron.
Hey, what's up? It's Jordan, and I am your other co-host, A&R lead, and executive producer.
Hey guys, it's Sebastian, your technical director. Making sure everything's cool. It is.
Word. Tonight's show is brought to you by Fredonia Radio Systems, in a group effort to promote and showcase the local music scene here in Fredonia, but also Western New York at large. Welcome to the Local Lowdown.
This week, our guest is Damone Tyrell. So how about we start the episode by you just introducing yourself and explaining how you got into music.
What's going on, world? Fredonia, to be exact. My name is Damone Tyrell. I am the landlord of House of Tyrell. You know, that's so if anybody, wants to become a resident, sign your lease, the rent is due. Holla at your boy. But how did I get into music? That is a long, that's a very long, but I'll keep it short. When it came to, my introduction to hip hop, at least, well, all types of music, because R&B was like really my first big introduction to music. My mom, when she moved us down to to Atlanta, Georgia, I was about 5. And she played a lot of Mary J. Blige. Mm-hmm. She played a lot of Tribe Called Quest. It was a couple other artists as well that I can't think of right now, but those are the two main people that stick in my head. And it got to a point where I started to come back up to Buffalo every summer and hang around my cousins who have helped me with music thus far. And they had like a little boombox cassette deck thing where you could just kind of like record your voice over a beat or whatever. And I got into that and started rapping, and that was it. Yeah, I just enjoyed it from there, And I like to tell stories too, so that's another aspect of it as well.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And about how old were you when you first started doing that?
7. Yeah, I was 7 when that started happening. Like I said, 5 was when I started to like check it out, but 7 is when I really started to jump into it, and 14 is when I was just like, yeah, no, I'm gonna do this. This is what I'm gonna do with my life. Yeah. So yeah.
Did you do that more as like a social thing, or was it more by yourself?
It was more for me. Yeah, it felt better just having something that like I could be expressive with. You know what I mean? It was a lot of things going on at that time, so like it just felt really good to be able to say, okay, well, I'll take whatever I'm feeling, put it here. I didn't really share much of it until, I didn't really share much of it until 18, really, to be honest. Yeah.
I'm sure that it's changed over the years, but from when you started writing lyrics and songs, where did you find inspiration?
Oh, man, that's a great question, by the way. I found inspiration in everything. So, like, I'm really big into, like, video games and all type of, stuff like that. And so, like, I would play Crash Bandicoot and rap about Crash Bandicoot. I'm aging myself, obviously. I'm a 90s kid, but I would rap about that. My mom was going through some things with my dad at the time. They split up, so like I had a lot of anger towards him, and so a lot of those things would show up in my lyrics. And alternatively, like it would be stuff I heard that inspired me as well. So I was saying a lot of wild stuff. Yeah, I was saying a lot of wild stuff, but yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I can't say what that wild stuff was, but yeah.
I'm like,
bro, you don't want to know. You don't want to know, man. Typical stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, as you mentioned, you've spent time both in Buffalo and Atlanta throughout your music career. I'm wondering how those different scenes have affected you and your growth as an artist.
Oh, man. Great question also. I'm actually excited to talk about this because up until recently, I rejected Atlanta, or Stone Mountain is where we, you know,
Okay.
settled. And so up until recently, I rejected it. I hated it. You know, I just wanted to be Buffalo. Like, there wasn't a rapper, shout out to Griselda, but there wasn't a rapper at the time that was doing anything in Buffalo.
Yeah.
And so that was my goal. Like, okay, I'm going to be the first rapper to be.
Oh, that's interesting. 'Cause
Yeah.
I would think that you'd be happy to be in Atlanta because there's so much.
No.
Yeah.
No, it was more of a like hometown pride representation type of thing. We didn't
see.
have representation. And
Yeah.
I mean, of course, Outkast, but like for Georgia. But like for me, I was just like, no, I need to represent Buffalo. I have to stay who I am.
That's really cool.
And that, well, it was, but like up until a certain point, it really like stifled me because creatively, Stone Mountain has done way more for me than Buffalo has. I love Buffalo so much, but like creatively, I feel like I was able to thrive there in a different kind of way. I saw different pieces of myself artistically than I do when it comes to Buffalo. You know what I mean? Because I have more experience there. You know, I technically grew up there. You know what I mean? So like it shaped me in a way where now I'm not ashamed of it, but I used to be. Yeah.
So what made you return to Buffalo?
Truthfully, Griselda.
Wow.
When that whole like, so I went on tour with them in 2020, and when that happened, when that whole thing happened, I was just like, no, I got to be up there.
Yeah.
I got to be up there. It felt like a power move, so I came back, and I wanted to see my family too. Just being honest, you know, I haven't seen them in a while, and like I said, I don't remember much of life up here except visiting. You know, so I kind of wanted to figure it all out. So I got a chance to. I bumped my head a little bit, but I got a chance to.
Yeah, and I'm interested. So they invited you on tour while you were in Atlanta. Did they think you were still in the Buffalo area at that time, or?
So, I don't know if they thought that I was. I know they knew that's where I was from, but I don't think that really mattered to them. Like as far as like,
Gotcha.
you know, whether or not, like it was just like he's really good, and let's just see how this works out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was a dope opportunity, man. Shout out to Griselda.
Yeah.
Seriously.
So you kind of feel like now you kind of get to mix parts like from the Buffalo scene and from Atlanta. And that's pretty unique. I feel like those places don't really like cross
Yeah.
that much.
No,
sure.
they don't intersect at all. No. But it does feel really good to kind of like take what I feel like I've learned from Atlanta, because I would say Atlanta taught me flow. Atlanta taught me a different type of rhythm, whereas Buffalo kind of gave me more of the gritty sound. You know what I mean? And so now being able to mix those two, yeah, that's a no-brainer. That's
Yeah.
a perfect mix. That's like a perfect marriage. Even though it's so awkward, it's a perfect marriage. So
Yeah. Well, a lot of your latest album, Welcome Home, talks all about coming back to Buffalo. I think chiefly the song BCB 3, which is like part of a series that you've been doing.
yeah.
I mean, that's all in that song. It's in the album in general as a whole. What can you say about coming back home to Buffalo and having this album out now?
It's interesting that you brought up BCB, because that is the most tormented song I've ever written in my life.
Really?
Like, I would give some backstory on it, but I'll just, I mean, I don't have a problem with giving backstory on it. So me and my wife were going through a little bit of a tough time at the time, you know what I'm saying? And it just kind of like put a lot of things into perspective for me as to why I came back up here and what I was looking for and what I was missing and like that marriage and whatnot. And if you don't mind asking that question a little bit again, Jordan, so I could just kind of like bring it home.
If you don't want to talk about that song in particular, it's
No,
fine.
I'm fine with talking about that song. I just want to make sure that I stay on track with my answers, because I get a little, you know, all over the place. So
It was a pretty open-ended question.
Right.
Just the album in general and those themes of coming back to Buffalo.
yeah, so this is my best work yet, for me personally, you know, because I'm being so open. I don't feel like in the past, I feel like I had a lyric in one of my older songs, and I was always talking about being vague, and I would kind of like throw that out there. I would just kind of give people a little bit of me. I feel like here, specifically BCB Part 3, there's some vagueness to it, but if you're really paying attention, you'll know what I'm talking about, and kind of like you'll get the gravity of the situation. And so I think coming back here and kind of experiencing real life, even though I've experienced real life before, but like experiencing it in a different setting and with a different set of rules and, you know, just circumstances and whatnot, it really helped me to be able to craft the best work of art that I've ever made because it's the most expressive. It's the most nostalgic. It's the most, I don't want to say honest, but truthfully it is the most honest that I've ever been. Like I pull from so many different influences and things in my life that it's so small you wouldn't even know if you don't know me. But if you know me, you're like, wow, how did you even remember that? You were 5. How do you know that? So yeah, it's a great album. It's a great album.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, exactly what you were saying with it being your best product so far. I think so. I also agree with what you're saying about just it's a very honest album.
Mm-hmm.
Like what you hear in the lyrics, it's almost just so straightforward. It's so clear that it's just exactly what happened in a way, which I really like about it. So,
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. That takes a lot for me to do that because I don't like putting myself out there at all. So the fact that you can sense that, I did my job. Yeah, I did my job.
So in your music video for Off Jefferson, you spend a significant amount of time on the intersection between Jefferson Ave and Beverly Road.
Mm-hmm.
What is the backstory of that?
Oh, man. So Off Jefferson is, again, titled that because Beverly Road is off Jefferson, off Jefferson Road. Not road, but obviously Ave, I believe. But so I grew up on Beverly Road. That's where all my family was. It was like this real 1970s kind of nostalgic, all your family lives on the same block type of thing. Like my aunt's house is literally across the street from my grandmother and grandfather's house, but she's my great aunt. And next to that was another aunt, and then just all over the street, basically. My whole family was all over the street, and they all know each other and everything. And so for Off Jefferson, I kind of wanted to, specifically in the video and in the song, kind of express the mind state from where I was to where I am. You know what I mean? And so that's why I say I'm not worried about an outcome. I'm just focused on my income, fantasize about sharing my trophies until I get one, you know, stuff like that. Because it's, when I was on that street, I didn't really have any grasp or concept of life. Obviously, I'm 4. You know, I don't know what's going on. Or 5. I'm sorry, I'm 5. So I don't know what's going on. I mean, obviously, I was 4 because I grew up on that street. So, but I don't know what's going on, and so being able to shoot the video over there and show me just kind of walking back, you know, because it was kind of like a reveal. You didn't know where I was. It just kind of looked like a regular. Oh, okay, he's outside, and then you see me walking, and you're like, where is he going? What is he doing? Then you see where I'm at. And like, oh, he's on Jefferson, but Beverly Road is right there. And he walks directly on Beverly, you know? So it's like, what is that idea? So it was just, like I said, it was more of a perspective shift because in the video, it starts out upside down. And then it goes back to being upside down toward the end of the video. And so, like I said, it was just more of a perspective shift of showing like when I was here, my perspective was this way, and now that I'm here, my perspective is kind of flipped on its head. Now that I'm back walking on that street, and I've experienced these things and done these things, you know, stuff like that. So it's just all about perspective, really, you know.
Yeah. Another thing on that video, there's quite a long poem-like message in the description. Are those things that came to you after you had completed the album, or?
Yeah. Like I said, I like writing stories and stuff like that, so I kind of like dramatize certain things. And yeah, it was something that came to me after the album. It was also something that I had been experiencing. I don't remember exactly what I wrote, but I do remember a little bit of it. And if I'm not mistaken, it was like something about growth or something like that.
Yeah.
And it did come to me afterwards because it was, I don't think I myself realized what, like the video just looked cool aesthetically, you know what I mean? But when I actually paid attention, I was like, no, this is like a shift. You know what I mean? This is like a change in perspective. Like, and sometimes I'm not gonna lie to you, I overreach to make things make sense. It happens. Everybody does. But yeah, it was just a shift in perspective, and I was just like, wow, okay, I gotta, in the description, I have to, for those who care, I have to let people know, like, yo, this is serious to me. Like, this is real. So yeah, I just typed that up based off my experiences and went from there.
Yeah. Wow, we're really getting into all the nitty-gritty details.
Yeah, bro,
right
I'm going to tell you if you ask.
I love it.
I'm definitely going to tell you.
Yeah.
I love expressing my art or explaining my art.
Yeah, let's just do, I guess, like a brief overview. How long was this album in the works? And What was that like?
It was in the works 2019, but the concept was there. It wasn't no music. There was no music until 2021, and I recorded the whole album in like a week. And I have to say this: my wife and my daughter actually moved back to Georgia during that time, and I was alone.
I see.
And so during that time, I was able to. That's why it's so honest, because I was able to feel everything. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Did you release anything in between 2019 and this album? Like, did you go and do other projects in between this?
Numbers Don't Lie came out in
what I thought.
2020, and Life Behind Bars.
Yeah, so
came
you've been
out,
sitting on this idea for a while.
Yeah. It was me and my cousins had talked about it before I had moved back, or I had thought about moving back, and they were like, "What if you did a project called Welcome Home, Damone Tyrell, or something like that?" And I was like, "Oh, that'd be pretty tight. It could look like a welcome home party or whatever the case may be." And,
Yeah, and that's something that everyone can relate to. Like,
Right.
even though it's such a personal album for you, but
Very.
even just a phrase like "welcome home" is,
there you go.
who can't relate to that in some way or another?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And so we put that together, and that was it.
Do you think having that vision going into it made it easier for you to make the music, or did you ever feel like kind of constricted by like having that concept?
No. I always do concepts. Like, I like to kind of map and plan out what I'm going to do. I actually come up with the name for albums before I even come up with the music. So, and the cover art as well. I come up with the idea for the cover art as well.
Wow.
So, no, I think having that helps me to stay on point with what I'm going to talk about. You know what I mean? So, it was just clear, concise. I didn't go through a lot of beats. I just said, okay, these are this. And then that's it. And then that's how the album came together. It was just a really quick process.
Yeah.
Super quick.
In terms of the production, were you working with a lot of people that you had in the past, or?
No, this was a new producer I saw on Instagram, Saipuda.
Okay.
Then I got pretty much everything from him. Yeah, actually it was everything, like all the beats. It's a song on there that didn't come out. It's supposed to be on the album called Lottie's. And I got that from him as well, but we didn't get that in time. So, yeah.
Yeah. Would you work more with him in the future?
Of course. Yeah, of course. I mean, I'm trying to get away from the sample loops a little bit more. Now I'm trying to go back into like more of the, I won't say trappy stuff, but like just upbeat type of things.
Okay.
But I still will. I just want to add more variation. That's it.
Yeah.
So I don't want the whole album sounding the same anymore. I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this one definitely does have that cohesive sound to it.
For sure. But it can get boring. Like for me specifically. I'm honest with my music, so I'm gonna say stuff like that.
There's still songs in there that are like fairly different though, like switches. Like like that is not.
That's
the
my
same
favorite
as the other
song.
ones. I love that one too.
That's my favorite song I've ever made.
That one I feel like definitely has some of the Griselda influence.
Oh yeah. Of course.
Which
of course.
is cool.
Of course. And I wanted to say something different on that one. I didn't want to just make a particularly grimy track. I wanted to actually pull from something. So obviously you've heard it, but it's talking about my grandfather and how he used to hit us with switches. But then but the hook switches as well. It kind of has like different variations and patterns as I say it. And then the last verse switches as well. Like it goes to a completely different topic. So I just like that. I like stuff like that. You know what I mean?
All right, so speaking of collaboration, the one feature on your album was from Skeese. What was it like working with him, and what's sort of the landscape like for collaboration in the Buffalo hip-hop scene?
First of all, Skeese is incredible. He's incredible. He's an incredible dude, and he's an incredible lyricist. He's just dope. It was really, that song was like a couple of months in the making. I had already recorded it, sent it to him, and then it just took him a minute to get it back. But when he got it back, I was blown away by his verse. Buffalo is very collaborative, when it comes in terms of the music scene. Everybody loves everybody. Everybody is trying to see everybody win. Everybody wants to see, everybody wants to put everybody on. So it's beautiful. Like, I love it out there. Yeah, specifically with Griselda and BSF and everything. Like, they've opened doors and welcomed everybody with open arms. So it's just love.
Did you feel like that was different from Atlanta?
Yeah, somewhat. I'm not really a big social person, so no matter how open the doors are, I don't always walk through them. I just don't like to be in everybody's face. I like to be in my own face a lot of the times. So even with Atlanta, there was some camaraderie, but it was completely different because there was an underground scene. Buffalo is just now getting out there, so everything is out there. But there was an underground scene and then a bigger scene with artists that do a particular type of, music. So, yeah. So
Interesting.
Yeah. Well, one thing we haven't mentioned from earlier on in your career is that you did work with the popular hip-hop channel on YouTube, Dead End Hip Hop, which is actually how I discovered you many years ago.
Shout out my guys, man. Shout out my guys.
Yeah, they helped you put out the album Who the Hell is Damone Tyrell,
Right.
which got a lot of eyes on you at the time.
They did.
What can you tell us about that experience?
It was great. I recorded Who the Hell is Damone Tyrell in my mom's house in a booth that I made out of plywood and just janky stuff. Like, it was just the jankiest setup, but it was amazing. I called it the hot box. It was amazing. At that time I was learning like different audio equipment and whatnot. So I was like getting into Neumann and Aventone and, just learning Focusrite and all of that stuff. And so like it was great because I was kind of in a space where I was like engineering myself, even though I didn't engineer that album, but I was engineering myself and just like discovering things while, getting better at my craft. So it was a phenomenal experience. And shout out to Dead End Hip Hop. They are always in my corner. I love those guys like family. You know what I mean? They are family. So I love those guys. Love them.
Yeah. Would you work with anything on them in the future again?
Of course.
Yeah. That's like an obvious answer.
Yeah, I still talk to them. We still keep in touch, keep in communication. So if it ever came to a point where they were doing another album or something or whatever, they're going to ask me for a verse, obviously. That's just home team right there. They're just going to ask me for that. So, yeah, that'd be great to do something else with them, for sure. And
I'm wondering, just from your perspective of someone that's like friends with them, but they'll also review your albums. Is that like an interesting dynamic to watch?
So this is the this is the first time I've ever told anybody this, but when they did Numbers Don't Lie, when they reviewed it, I kind of cried a little bit because it was just like a real touching moment for me. It was like to see people who know me but don't like fully know me, and they champion something that I like hold so near and dear to my heart. You know what I mean? Because I was scared. I was terrified. I was like, yo, they're gonna really hate this. Not hate it, but they're not gonna talk about it the way I want them to.
Yeah.
It terrified me. But when they, gave me the feedback that they gave me, it was just like, man, this is.
And they didn't sugarcoat it either. Like, they had their critiques, but they also gave you a lot of flowers.
One thing they will never do is sugarcoat anything. Specifically, Mike, he will never sugarcoat anything. But everybody else, they don't sugarcoat anything either. But Mike's gonna tell you, no, that's trash. He's going to let you know. Yeah. So, yeah, I love those guys, man. I love those guys. Shout out to them one more time.
Yeah. That's really cool. Yeah. In terms of getting local support from Buffalo, as we mentioned, you went on tour with Griselda. You've worked with Benny the Butcher on a song as well. How have those experiences been?
They've been great. So I have more collaborations too, obviously with Rick Hyde and El Camino on a song that probably will never come out because I lost the files to it.
Man.
Yeah, I'll let you hear it though. You can hear the leak. Okay. But everybody's been embracing me really well when I do show up and show out, obviously, because I don't, always come out. But everybody shows me love. Like I've just received so much praise for how good I actually am. A long time ago, it was just me thinking I was good, and now everybody else thinks I'm good as well. Yeah. So that's love, and the fact that Benny would jump on a song with me, that says a lot. I don't need to say anything else with that. That's it.
Yeah. And going on tour, what was your performance experience like before then and then after? Like, what did you take away from going on that tour with them?
I was a beast when it came to performances before I even jumped on tour, so I was ready for that. I was performing in high school. Doing talent shows, like every chance I got, I was performing. Like,
so you were ready just to go in front of a big audience,
man.
Like that.
And it was more than I've ever done, like performed for. It was like maybe 2,000 to 1,500 people. It might have been more than that. I don't necessarily know the head count. All I know is that it was so many heads in there, and it was just like intimidating at first because they don't know who you are. So are they gonna like you? Are they gonna boo you off stage? What are they gonna do? And I've never been booed before, so. To not receive that and to have people coming up to me after the shows and being like, yo, you're so good, I gotta follow you. Like, yeah, that solidified it. It boosted my ego, like 100%. But I needed it. I needed that because you can't perform on a stage without ego at all. So,
Well, speaking of performance, I think we're about to transition into that. Take it away, Damone.
Let's go.
Yo. It's welcome home. It's real special to me, you know what I mean? Real quick. If y'all want to lend me y'all ear, I'm going to tell y'all a story real quick, how I got here. You know how I got back. Go like this. Yo. It's early morning. Real hit me, let me know that it's on. I grab a beat from Theo, daughter didn't know I was gone. I won't be long, I got a play to make. I'm up on Clubhouse every night just trying to make a way. I talked to Benny, shout out Jordan from The Rock, cause all the homies in that room was in that joint connecting dots. We came up on the tour, they made us buck up for some slots. No matter the circumstance, we gave it everything we got. So now I'm in the hotel room and I was dreaming, thinking that I might blow soon, but homie scheming. All I hear is shots go boom, but I was on another mission. My life caught my attention, that night came. Homies wasn't ready, but I was on my mic game. Greatest to ever do it, sound like a nice name. Got into the stew and you would think that my vibe changed. I acted quite strange. Benny was chilling, he had wrote a verse, asked if I liked it. To have him on a song, I ain't gonna trip, I was excited. We finished everything and it was off to the telly for some weed, relaxation and some food up in my belly. The flight was in the morning, we getting homies ready for the storm. But I had second thoughts and didn't board. Some business wasn't finished what the universe was telling me. So I went to Bissell where I hustled as a specialty. Started up a clothing line. Pops called me son cause he know I shine. Sales every day, man, I was on my grind. Film back in Georgia, they was on my mind. Stayed for 6 months, wasn't thinking about nobody's time. Patience was drained, not to mention my relationship strained. Moms didn't speak to me, wife was going insane. Said she couldn't understand any thoughts in my brain. Why would I want to return to a place of such pain? Meanwhile, I was meeting some homies, hitting events. I moved how I thought I should move, that's common sense. The anxiety from my fam was getting intense. They didn't understand my plan's initial intent. Hands in the clay, that's when I noticed the shift. I missed the 25th cause Buff had all my gifts. I came to get it all, the town is part of that list. Cause I was gone long, now I'm back, I was missed. Welcome home, on. Yeah, that was Welcome Home off Welcome Home. Check that out. Actually, that was 310 Bissell. I don't know my own music. Yo. I get a little touchy-feely with it, you know. All hands on. Check me out. Look. Yo, I kick flavor in many assortments, aroma so loud that it causes distortions. Killing these rappers that act like my sons. In summer 13, I spit 50 abortions. I'm in the house, I can't be a tenant. I want the whole D set me up with the mortgage attack of the clones. But I'm a young Jedi, I'm pushing the limits, but I never force it. Keep an eye for the peso, but I never sweat a pay stub. All them other dudes sweating to the mold like Play-Doh. Me, I'm trying to keep my shape up, stack and build like Lego play sets. After game, but she allergic to latex. I had to raw dog it, sitting here thinking I lost it. Spitting these flames that's causing severe heat exhaustion. Black man with a black beard, making first mates out my rap peers. Silly newcomers like Paris on shoulders, cause all that they do is repeat what they hear. Scallywags on my shit. First mate on the poop deck. You homies think you the ish, but none of y'all ain't even poop yet. Yeah, you should work hard. Maintain your focus. Stay on your job. Cause when you should work hard. Maintain your focus. Stay on your look. It's all hands on deck. 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 I command my respect. All hands on deck. All hands on deck. Let me show you what's next. All hands on deck. And I do it for the spec. It's all hands on. It's all hands on. With sweaty palms, I still got a grip on life. But time's my kryptonite. I can stare at the clock on the wall, measurement pass by while the day turns into night. Where's my ambition? I got comfortable with just existing. But then I came back ready for the kitchen. If you're not cooking, then you gotta do the dishes. Just met this girl, honestly I want her in my world. She say we gotta build each other, construction game is nothing less than thorough. I pushed myself when I was just a teen, I hit my 20s and I softened up. I wrote this off like it was just a dream. Lately I haven't sleepwalked as much. When homies start tripping, I book with Expedia. Humble on camera, I'm modest with media. You can flotate a flotation device with all that hot air, boy, you're around so with helium. Get on board or on guard. It's obvious you walk the plane, can't see the sharks underneath, cause the ocean's thin, can see the dive by the teeth, or you'll feel my shanks and break. Come on, you should work, maintain your focus. Stay on yo, cause when you should work hard, maintain your focus. Stay on yo, yeah. It's all hands on deck. 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 Let me show you what's next. All hands on deck. All hands on deck. I command my respect. All hands on deck. And I do it for the spec. It's all hands on. It's all hands on. Yeah. It's all hands on. It's all hands on. Yeah. We all hands on. We all hands on. Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, that's a little easier to get through than that other one. I ain't gonna hold you. It's the curse words too, man. I'm so ready to say them. I gotta block them out. So I'm like making myself do that while I'm rapping. It's like muscle memory. It's all that. All right, here we go. Let's try this one again. Yo, yo, yo. Man, I came a long way from 23. It's crazy to think about that. I don't want to say how old I am now. We're going to get into that a little bit later, but I've grown so much. But I really do appreciate where I came from and who I was, you know what I'm saying? So this return to form is actually a welcome thing. So, throwing jabs with any homie with gloves on. Live behind these bars, you think I'm rapping with cuffs on. Last year, I wasted my talent writing these love songs. This year, I'm trying my hardest not to come up wrong. Words buzzing from jungle to jungle. Tim Allen probably know me. I could write a whole book and give it to Mowgli. I'm hiding in my skin. I'm a beast in disguise. I'm carrying these lines like I was Optimus Prime. What? I want more people to connect with what I'm saying. So for a limited time, I'm offering Wi-Fi free. On the far side, these women keep passing by me. I'm ready for war. You hop on the front line, flee. Intimidated, I'm taking note of your fear. I'm overlooking your dome and aiming straight for your ears. Trigger finger 007, I'm looking to pierce through your brains and bronze, son. Challenge me if you dare. Lately, I've been feeling like I'm underestimated. I'm impatient, I've been waiting to profess it. I'm the greatest. Women ranting, homies raving, and me on today's playlist. See my truth inside my mirror. About that time I go and face it. I try to keep my conscience out of harm's way. Follow my first mind, at least that's what my mom say. I gotta let these demons out for my mind's sake. I gotta kill these weak rappers for the rhyme's sake. Hey, they taking pages out of books, converting pawns into brooks. Man, don't nobody wanna hear about our homies' trials and tribulations no more. They just wanna hear the hook. They taking pages out of books, converting pawns into brooks. And don't nobody want to hear about our homies' trials and tribulations no more. They just want to hear the hook, so catch this. Punchlines hit with no fist. Writing so much, damn near broke my wrist. What it's like to rap like a Jada with no kiss. Get crossed with no Chris, or beat with no Swiss. How you getting diagnosed? Still, you not sick. You never sold drugs, got rich or pop clips. But still, you walk around with a story to tell about how you got picked on and your moms was mad strict. Nobody wanna hear about a regular brother. We a dying breed, like young kids that wanna breed. I'm just trying to grow my empire, they crushing my seeds. Bringing rap music home, but they shredding the deed. Look, never had a gimmick, can't rap no phony lyrics. Just trying to reach my peak and push it way beyond my limits. Shedding light up on the subject, but you know they gon' dim it. I'm concerned about my message, while they worried about my image. Come on, man. They taking pages out of books, converting pawns into brooks. Man, don't nobody wanna hear about our homies' trials and tribulations no more. They just wanna hear the hooks. They taking pages out of books, converting pawns into brooks. Don't nobody wanna hear about our homies' trials and tribulations no more. They just wanna hear the, man, they just wanna hear the hooks. That's it. I wrote this song when I was 23 and it's still going on to this day. I don't want to be no purist or nothing, but y'all got to get them lyrics up, man. Talk to me. I'm going to sip my water on y'all real quick. Just take a little outro for myself. Yep. Thank you. Make sure there's the performance mix. Yep, okay. Yeah.
What time does the weather come on?
Man. Crazy to be back in Buffalo now after all these years. I mean, I came back and forth, but you know, living here is different. And so it's like we taking trips we never took before. They ridicule us cause we look for more. Got missing tools that we've been pushing towards. Been living life in every moment. Yeah, that's full circle. We never been on that lane. Full Urkels. I'm thinking back to them Thundercats and them Ninja Turtles. All my adventures from Delavan and then back to Hurdle. We spun the block at that tattoo shop down on Broadway. That was crazy. I robbed my mama in broad day. I was a baby when looking up to them corner boys. They corner boys with them dirty tactics they do employ. It's crazy out here, man. So be safe. Check. Shout out to Sean, cause he always made sure I was good. I feel like Cuba Styles, furious like boys in the hood. My cousin Aaron kept me safe about as long as he could. He was a savage and his sister Alex moving like Suge. I barely chilled with my pops, I mean them summers was hard. But they just wanted to make sure no one was pulling my card. It wasn't dangerous in my mind, I mean what more can I say? But I was stupid, so my mama moved me down to the A. 2016, rap coming out so pristine. Couple years I be in this joint with 6 rings. Jumped up on the plane, I had to visit my home. But it was different cause I took that short flight on my own. Sat next to someone, I was working on my album, she could tell. Later that title would start off with the question, who the hell? Then she said she had a son, he could spit, it was me. His first name was Conway, last name was Machine. We went on tour in 2020 and it's ironic in fact, cause I ain't think that I would be Griselda's opening act. We did a joint with DJ Shay and I gotta say rest in peace. We bought a couple of beats, them joints ain't getting released. I ain't even know who he was. My mama had his CD and then we made us a tape for only our eyes to see. Tour ended and I had to make sure I could thrive. And then I got a chance to rap for Conway on live. And to think, since my cousins helped the homie quit his job, all these locked doors open and I was pulling the knob. This all started when I spit my first rap at 355. Guess my life is full circle, my circumference comes alive. Yeah. Welcome home, Mom. Welcome home. Yeah. Boom. Thank you.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for that performance, Damone. We really
For
appreciate
sure.
you
Yeah.
coming down and performing for us.
Oh, yeah, come on now.
Always appreciate people driving down from Buffalo. Thank you.
Yeah.
Especially in a U-Haul.
Well,
Whoa.
put me out there, why don't you? No, yeah, it was, yeah. And a U-Haul.
Yep. Well, there's something I wanted to ask you about, and it's
For
your
sure.
personal ad lib.
Okay.
It's heavy.
Yeah.
Where'd that come from?
I made it up just out of the blue. Like, I was like, man, I need something that's going to stick. And funny enough, the song that nobody will ever hear, unless I decide to leak it, is called Pain in It.
This is the one with El Camino.
This is El Camino and Rick Hyde. And shout out BSF again. And basically, my cousins were saying, like, we got to put that pain in it. We got to put that pain in it. We got to put that pain in it. And so, like, everything they were saying, I just started to, like, make it into songs. Like, Can't Hold You. That was something I had never heard. And then they were saying, Can't Hold You. And I'm like, okay, that has to be a song. That's a dope hook. And so when they started to kind of, like, say pain in it, I just started to feel like, man, like, this is a real heavy thing. Like, putting pain in it is, like, a real heavy thing.
Yeah.
And so, like, I just tried it one day and was like, it's heavy. And then it stuck. And so I'm like, oh, that's kind of tight. So now I say it all the time. I don't want to keep it anymore because I feel like it, like, is indicative of, like, I'm really big on, like, manifestation and speaking stuff. You know what I mean? So, like, especially with my music because it's recorded. It's out there. You know what I mean? And so it could come back. And so I don't want things to be heavy anymore like that. You know what I mean? I'd rather say it's light or something.
I feel that ad-lib is pretty indicative of this album in particular. Like, that
For sure.
would definitely fit in with this time that you were
And
as
that's
an
where it's going
artist.
to die.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where it's dead.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
gone. Yeah. Now it's like Rent is Due. That's going to be my new one. Like, House of Tyrell, Rent is Due. So, yeah.
All right, well, we asked the question the last possible time. You won't hear It's Heavy ever again?
No, that's it. You heard it here first.
Do you have any, like, favorite producers that you've worked with over the years?
That I've worked with. Yeah, I do. I have to think. Thelonious Martin. He did the joint with Benny. He did Beverly, Montana. He did Beverly, Montana. So shout out him. He sent me that in the clutch too, man. Like I didn't have no beats prepared or anything, and he just was like, and sent that, and we went with that. Benny picked that beat, actually, funny enough. Black Metaphor, that's my guy. He did Numbers Don't Lie, the entirety of that project. He's crazy. He's been working with me since Who the Hell is Damone Tyrell?
Yeah.
He did Illusions of Gangster. And then you got Bangers by One. He did an album I did called 3. He also did Free Spirited on Who the Hell is Damone Tyrell? And then Awesome J. He did Life Behind Bars, some of it. And then I know all of them really. Really all of them.
Yeah,
I gotta
worked
give
with
them
a lot
all
of different people.
I have.
Yeah.
I gotta give them all their flowers, but like those are the ones that really stick out that make me feel like I've had a sound with them. You know what I mean? Like I really crafted something with them because I've made whole albums or like maybe the majority of my album with those guys. So shout out those guys. I love those guys. They're brothers to me.
Yeah.
It seems like everyone that contributed to Welcome Home also seemed to like, the whole thing is so cohesive.
Well, it was just one producer. So
Oh, it was?
Yeah, it was just one producer.
And
Sapuda.
Skeese.
Yeah.
Yeah. But producer. So, you know.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, it is cohesive. It's very samey. I love it, but it is. It's so samey. I've never done something like that before.
I mean, he definitely tapped into the emotions that you were feeling, I would say.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean those sample chops are incredible. You got to hear Lottie's if you never heard it though. Both of you guys, you got to hear Lottie's.
I'd love to hear it.
Yeah, you
Is it
gotta
coming
hear
out at some point? You think?
No, never. But it is on SoundCloud though. It is on.
Is it because
SoundCloud.
of the sample?
It's because somebody else got the beat before I could get a chance to get it. So they snatched it right from me. But it's that much of a good beat. So
And it's his
I
beat
get
still.
why. Yeah.
Okay.
It's definitely his beat still. So it's all good. No hard feelings.
Who snatched it?
I don't know. And he can't tell me. Like, he can't tell me. 'Cause
Okay,
I was,
so it wasn't like Drake or someone.
no. I was
Because
looking
that would be a
for
cool
it.
story.
No, it wouldn't. I lost to Drake. Like, I would be so mad. I'd be so mad. Like, nah, man, come on. Why would you do this to me, dog? That's crazy. We're supposed to be
fair.
brothers. Like,
Well,
I idolized him.
I wanted to chime in with a question.
For sure.
Another production guy.
Right.
I wanted to ask about House of Tyrell.
Okay.
Can you talk about that?
Yeah. So I'm a big Game of Thrones fan, obviously, if you can't tell.
Okay.
And so I was looking for like ways to try to make a thing of myself. You know, I was like, what am I like? Everybody has a thing. Drake has OVO. Ross has Maybach Music. You know, everybody has everything. You know, whatever they have. So I was like, what is my thing? And House of Tyrell just like literally came to me when I saw the show. Like I was like, wow, that's crazy. They're like my relatives, like from long ago. They're like, you know what I mean? I could be
Yeah.
from the House of Tyrell. So it just worked. So I just took it, and it's because it's all things me that it makes more sense to me as well. Because I'm kind of like self-centered in the way that I do things. Like I can only do what I feel and what I know. You know what I mean? And so I took that, put that there, and it's not just a clothing line. It's not really like a record label either. It's just everything me. You know what I mean? So like I'm trying to do like cartoons and stuff like that. Like I want to tell y'all about this idea I have for like cartoons and stuff, but like, or a cartoon, but it's too good. So I'll say it off air.
We might steal it just like the beat.
Yeah, no, don't do that. Don't do that. I'll be so mad. Like, so yeah, like I want to just do like everything under that umbrella. Everything that I want to do, I want to put under House of Tyrell because it's all me.
I get what you mean. I'm kind of going through that too. I feel like I want something. It's nice to have something that's your own, something like kind of like not like a company, but some sort of
Identity.
conglomerate.
Yeah.
Like something just to be like, yeah, I started that.
Because everybody's going to look at it and say, okay, that's you. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
exactly.
Like, Damone Tyrell is cool, but that's just a name. What else do we have?
Yeah.
And that House of Tyrell is like, oh, okay, that's a brand. That's something. So, and I got a logo for it. So, yeah.
There you go.
All that.
That is a great name.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah. I'm also curious about the character Duncan Tyrell.
Okay, so I just want
Yeah.
to do a little plug on that. So Duncan Tyrell is from Numbers Don't Lie. He is the character sitting on the
Basketball hoop?
Yes, on the basketball hoop. And it's weird because I don't know, like I know what caused me to make that idea. Jay-Z has this verse on Tom Ford. He has this line on Tom Ford where he says, "Numbers don't lie, check the scoreboard." And so as soon as I heard that or replayed it in my head kind of like a couple of times, because I knew I wanted to call Numbers Don't Lie, but I didn't know what I wanted to do with the cover art. And so when I heard that in my head a couple times, I was like, oh, okay, scoreboard, Numbers Don't Lie. All right, I could be on a basketball hoop. And then that's like, and I always wanted to be tall. When I was young, I told my mom, I was like, I'm gonna be 7 feet tall. It didn't happen, but I'm still waiting on it. We still going. 5 foot and under, we still going. But yeah, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna just create characters. So Damone Tyrell was not the only character. I don't know if you know that.
Okay.
But there's him. There's
Does this feed into some of the cartoons you were talking about before?
No, this just feeds into the albums.
Okay.
So 3 is an album I released in 2015. It has me, the cover art is me with like a Buzz Lightyear kind of get up or whatever. There's a character I made. It's on my phone. I'll show you guys real quick. So he's supposed to be a spinoff of what was on that cover. And then there's 2 other ones. Birthday Boy, which is from Me to Me. It's an EP I dropped on my 28th birthday. And then there's I forgot, but he's for Who the Hell is Damone Tyrell, and he's like a Riddler type of character or whatever. And so like I just came up with those, and I want to keep kind of like, because that's gonna feed into merch as well. Where when I keep doing each album, like I wanted to do a Welcome Home one, but
it was just so real.
Yeah,
It was hard to create like a character for that.
I won't say it's hard to create one, but it is a little like corny in my mind. Like I'm like.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question. I was like, is there one for Welcome Home?
No, and there probably won't be one for Welcome Home. There was going to be one for Life Behind Bars, though.
Okay.
Yeah, Jail Tyrell was going to be that guy.
Gotcha.
So I like to do a lot of name flips with my name.
Yeah. So we could potentially see some more House of Tyrell merch stuff.
Yo, you're going to see a lot of that. Yeah, I'm just like getting all the logistics together. But yeah.
I really want one of those Dunkin' ones.
I got you. I got you. I actually got you. Yeah. I got you.
All right. Before we close off the episode, do you have any upcoming shows or anything with House of Tyrell that you want to promote?
I don't have any upcoming shows right now because I'm just not mentally there to get on stage right now. But I am working on a EP with one of my close friends. His name is Pounce. I can't say the name of his clothing brand on here. It's F next week, actually, so I can say it, but I can't say the actual thing. But I'm working on an EP with him. And then I'm working on another joint that I kind of can't really say.
Okay.
It's handing out A whoopings. So it's handing out A whoopings. That's what the title of it is. And it's like this like Wu-Tang inspired Bruce Lee type of, vibe to it that I want to like just kind of convey and whatnot. Just kind of like this old this old like 80s Kung Fu movie aesthetic I want to like try. I've never tried that before. So I want to do that. And then, yeah, that's it. I mean, I'm still working on merch, so I don't have like anything to fully say. I'm going to start redesigning the House of Tyrell logo soon. So I actually came up with a couple ideas for that. But other than that, I'm just kind of like wanting to promote my older work so that the people who don't know about me can know about me. And then they can feel like they started somewhere, and then the new stuff will start to, resonate with them a little bit more. So.
Yeah. I mean, you have a pretty large discography at this point.
It's big.
You got a lot.
Yeah. I didn't realize it, but it is big. It's huge. And it's like albums that were on there, like on iTunes and stuff that I took down. I don't even know if you remember 5 Stories. Yeah.
No,
see, that was 2017.
Oh, maybe.
It was 2017. Like, you might have caught on to it, might not have caught on to it, but that was on platforms and I took it off. So, like, there's still stuff out there that nobody even knows about that is just out there. Yeah. So.
There's no shortage of stuff to listen to.
Not for me.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that concludes another episode of The Local Lowdown. Thank you so much, Damone Tyrell, for coming on and chatting with us and performing. It was really awesome.
Thank y'all for having me. Seriously.
Yeah, thank you. And thank you for tuning in to the Local Lowdown on 88.9 WCVF The Voice and 89.5 WDVL The Inferno. We'll be back next week with some more athletic local music. Same time,
Same place.
I ain't gonna hold you. I need a welcome home party for this one. Streamers, balloons, all that. We here, baby. Check. We taking trips we never took before. They ridicule us cause we look for more. Got missing tools that we've been pushing towards. Been living life in every moment, yeah, that's full circle. We never been on that lame shit, it's full Urkels. I'm thinking back to them Thundercats and them Ninja Turtles. All my adventures from Delavan and then back to Hurdle. We spun the block at that tattoo